Doing well.
That's good. Sound okay?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Is the sound okay?
Yeah, it sounds fine. Sounds
Okay.
fine. So, um, were you going to put your camera on or?
Oh, thought it was on. Sorry.
That's okay.
How's that?
There he is. Hey, nice,
Sorry about that. Thought it was
nice background you got there. Is that your territory?
yeah, so that's pretty well where I live in on the coast at near Mooloolaba. It's called Mooloolaba. That's just the inlet marina area, so it's only about 5 minutes from me.
Okay. And you're so just we're going to record this and print for pay members. Hopefully are going to log in and take a view and just a quick chat with us. But
Yep.
where are you located in Australia?
So we're in Queensland, just north of Brisbane by about an hour. So it's close to sort of metro, but far enough away from all the hustle and bustle.
So is that on the north coast?
East.
The east coast. Okay.
East coast, yeah.
Is it southeast or due east?
Southeast.
Southeast. So you're south of Sydney.
No, okay. So Sydney's down. We're north of Sydney. So if you looked at Australia's map, we're pretty well in the middle of the east.
Okay.
So if you look for Brisbane, we're right there basically.
Okay, nice. And the name of your company is Austral Business Machines, correct?
That's correct. Yes.
And you're the director?
Yes, one of the two directors. That's correct. Yep.
Okay. Is the director also in the U.S. we'd call that a dealer principal or an owner?
Yes. So both of us, we basically started the company 25 years ago. So he retires this year. He's done. He's had enough.
Wow.
He's 65, so his time's up. He's had enough. He's ready to go.
Oh, good for him. So every day's a Saturday now for him.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, that's good. So I see I was on your website and you guys you're a Kyocera dealer. And
Yes.
You guys sell a complete line?
Complete line, so full Kyocera dealer. We did take on the HP product when they decided they were going to take over the world in 2018 or whatever it was, but we decided to drop that line ourselves last year and just focus wholly and solely on the Kyocera line. Okay,
and was that the production you were talking about, or?
No, so HP when they bought Samsung and then released all their A3 product through the Samsung engines and all that sort of stuff, and apparently it was going to be the new best thing. It didn't quite work out that way.
Yeah, a lot of things for HP don't seem to work out the way they write them up to be.
Exactly. Yeah.
So in addition to Kyocera, you guys also sell phone systems, correct?
Yep. We're telecommunications, so we've done phone systems. We go back to the old, which is sort of another area we'll probably have to reconsider this year. We've been Panasonic since day one, right through the journey with the Panasonic copiers and all that as well. But up until now, we've been Panasonic phone systems. We chose not to take the direct hosted systems only on, but with Panasonic announcing they're no longer doing or won't be doing phone systems moving forward, we're in that transition period now with that division.
Right. How long were you doing phone systems?
25 years.
Oh, nice. And did you start out as a phone system dealer and then get into copies, or?
No, we originally probably started off as a copier dealer only, but within the first 6 months of being part of Panasonic range, they approached us and said, "Hey, how about you do this?" So they pretty well gave us the full range. We were very close to being, I guess, what they call it. They used to call it here Panasonic at work. It was effectively like a Fuji Xerox branding house where you had everything Panasonic. So we were just about to take on that when they pulled the pin on a few things as well. So I'm glad we didn't. But so we've been Panasonic since day one.
Yeah, they pulled the pin on the not only the phone systems in the U.S. but also all of their scanners. I was.
Oh, they've done that. Okay, wow.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked because you know there's not that many players in the scanner industry. But
No, not too popular here, to be honest. The direct scanners on their own haven't really taken off. Predominantly it's been the multifunction devices have continued. Very few, you know, I doubt we'd do 1 or 2 scanners every couple of months for direct scan only.
okay. And what do you guys sell more of, the MFBs or the phone systems?
Definitely MFB. So that's probably 85% of our business.
Okay.
And phone, and dramatically dropping. Probably phones used to be, I'll probably go back 4 or 5 years, it was probably 25-30% of our business, but gradually it's been more and more print.
Nice. Now, did you get into the production carousel yet? They released the cut sheet inkjet machine.
They have released it here. They have offered it to us, and because of where we're actually located, which, as I said, is sort of an hour out of one of the major cities. So we're still semi-remote. We don't have a big enough requirement to, you know, if we put 1 or 2 in there, we don't feel enough. It's enough for us to continue support. So we've chosen not to take that line.
Got it. What's your population base in your territory?
336,000 people, so very small compared to the US anyway.
How many? 36,000?
336.
Okay. Yeah, that's about the size of the county that's in my territory.
Yeah, okay.
It's about 300,000. In New Jersey, we have, which New Jersey is only 50 miles wide by maybe a couple 100 miles long. We have 9 million people.
Wow. Well, we're about the same size territory, but less people.
Yeah, a lot less. So they call from New York City all the way down to Washington, D.C. They call that, it's a Route 95 corridor, but they call it a megalopolis. The amount of business from that New York City all the way down to Washington, D.C. is just absolutely tremendous.
Crazy.
Yeah, so I was just, go ahead.
So we wouldn't be able to deal with that many people, mate.
Sometimes I have a hard time dealing with that many people. I tell you, on the during the week, it's you know, it's prospect, calls, emails, and then on the weekend, man, I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't even want to pick up my cell phone on the weekend.
I agree. It's not worth it.
So how has COVID affected you and your business in Australia?
Look, it's kind of a weird situation with what's happened. Obviously, I'm sure you're aware Australia's dealt with the COVID situation quite well. We're, in fact, I think probably one of the best in the world. And currently, I know currently now, we're not even seeing any cases at the moment, apart from return travellers from overseas. When we do have the odd spike, you know, here and there, it's you know, maybe 1 to 10 cases. So when we see the figures of what you guys are going through, you know, it's almost unfathomable from our side. But it still, when it did hit us at the very beginning, you know, it was doom and gloom. There's no doubt about it. That just, I remember it forever. That it was sort of 2 weeks into March, it really hit home, you know, 2020 here. People didn't know what to do. Businesses effectively were shutting down and thinking the world had come to an end. And in reality, we all pretty well did a similar thing. in that April was by far the worst month as a business we'd ever had in our entire history. It's almost like it wasn't worth opening the doors. And to be honest, I'll give you all the credit. I read your blog and you know, your home blog, and I sat and I'd sent to be honest, I'd sent the sales guys home. We'd put the techs on. You know, I think you call it furlough or whatever, but we basically sent a few of them home, and we're just doing the necessary ones. And then, as I said, I started reading your blog there. It was coming through daily at that stage, I think, and you were focused on how you're going to do it, and just decided bugger it. So called the sales guys back in and said, no, this isn't going to happen, because at that stage we were still allowed to work out of the office. And basically we changed tack a little bit, and we decided to approach it in a different way, which did work. So from that moment on, the honest truth is sales for us and revenue has increased month on month, year on year. And it just has been probably the greatest year we've had, but it's a sad thing to say out of what we've had. That's sales revenue. So our sales are up over 50% last year to date for the Japanese financial year. But service revenue dropped dramatically.
Right. That's great. That's great. Good to hear about the sales revenue. Did the profit margin go up on maintenance side?
No. So on maintenance, the profit has definitely dropped. It's about 30% down. It's coming back now. It's probably only at about 15% drop on service revenue and so forth at the moment. But you know, we've had the odd month here and there that's kicked in, which has been okay. We've been focusing predominantly strongly on new business. Our government did a great thing for us back when COVID started, and you know, put a lot of cash out there for businesses to stimulate businesses. They put a program called JobKeeper in place, which effectively the government paid a large portion of all wages for all businesses, for all staff, for any business that had dropped revenue by more than 30%.
Okay.
So we had a period there. They initially did it for 6 months, so it ran till September last year, and then they had obviously checks to see what position each business was in, and by September they reevaluated, and then you had a different criteria. A lot of businesses were able to continue to get the stimulus and the paid wages. It's about $1,500 a fortnight per staff member, and it kept a lot of the staff in business. A lot of businesses in play, and a lot of staff kept their jobs. That's continued to run until the end of March now. So March just gone, it's just finished, albeit it was a little bit reduced. They also, you know, threw a lot of money at businesses to get them spending. And so I'd say our economy's held strong, and effectively it's been, you know, good out in there. Our biggest hit by far has been tourism. You know, hospitality, that type of coffee shops. Anytime there's any cases, they shut them down immediately, and you know, they're closed. So borders here, I don't know what it's like over in the States, but obviously we have, I think it's 7 states here, so Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria, Western Australia, and they're all independently run by, I think, like your governors, you might call them. Right. And they're pretty picky on their own states, and so we found a lot of the states locking themselves down from other states, so we can't even sort of go interstate inside our own country. Wow. And that's been every time there's been cases sort of stepped up in one of the states, they lock it down. The other states refuse to let people in and out. So, you know, holidays, people who are holidaying up on for instance, we're a large holiday zone here on the coast. Lots of people come. It went from having 100% occupancy to 20% occupancy overnight the minute there's any COVID outbreak. So it's been a bit tough for those guys, but general business has been fine.
Yeah, they did the same thing with stimulus here in the U.S. I think we just finished up our 3rd stimulus for COVID, and who knows how long it's going to keep going. I know we are still, at least in the state of New Jersey, reporting on average 5,000 cases per day. the governor, our governor of our state, keeps on extending. He has 30 days where he can enact a health emergency order. And the health emergency order basically means he can bypass the state legislature and the state Senate, and then put executive orders in place as to how many people can gather in churches, gyms, outside, how many are allowed in restaurants, if there can be outdoor dining. And he extended it from March 20th until April 20th. And on some of the software models they're releasing, if we stay moderate, we're still expecting 5,000 cases per day till mid-summer, with a high end of almost 8,000. If the model takes a higher end, almost 8,000 per day. And this is all with 2 million people who have already had the vaccine. Another million who've had COVID, and Lord knows how many were immune. So, I mean, as long as he keeps extending his health emergency order, that's keeping the bigger businesses out of their offices.
Yep.
So where most offices, bigger business, what I'm talking about is 50 employees plus, right? They're basically, most of them are still, I would say 80% are still remote. A couple people in the office here and there to take care of some office tasks that can't be taken care of, working remote. And most had been figuring on a June, July, some type of hybrid back to work in the office. I tell you, with him, if he extends his emergency order again from April to May, then we have in May, at the end of May, we have Memorial Day, which is a big holiday here. And, basically, people take their vacations, the 3-day holiday over a weekend. I mean, they're already predicting another spike. So I guess that means I'm just going to continue writing my blog every day for them.
How are you finding the home working environment? I mean, you're obviously doing okay.
I absolutely love it. I find I have I'm more productive, right? B, where I used to have 10 appointments in the field a week, and travel time back and forth could be anywhere from I'm about a half hour away from my office, so leaving from the office to my territory, average travel time back and forth to the office could be 45 minutes on every single appointment, right?
Yep.
And then, not barring any accidents or traffic delays. Again, we're a state of 9 million people, so traffic can get kind of hectic at times. So I've had all that time, if you think about it, 10 hours to let's see, 10 appointments, 45 minutes. I got back 15 hours a week.
Yep.
Or I got back 60 hours in a month. So I got back more than a week of productivity. Plus, I don't have to take the hour to travel to the office and the hour coming home from the office. And I guess that all resulted in just being able to contact more people, being able to have more time to think of different ways to be creative, to try and get some of these accounts to move forward, or doing the research with your existing accounts and setting those virtual meetings. Let's face it, in a nutshell, every company wants to save money. Yep. So if you can figure out a way for them to save money without cutting your own profit margin, right? Not just by giving the equipment away, but where they're happy and you're happy, everybody's interested in saving money. And I will say that was the theme, and that still is the theme from when COVID started and continuing till to this day.
Yeah,
And
100% agree.
I'm sure you must see the same thing in your area too, right?
Yeah, very, very much so. And that was probably also one of the focuses of our sort of direction of how we're going to, why would people want to buy, who wants a copier in this time when people predominantly may not even be in the office or be using it as much. So we took the tact of, okay, let's go out and talk to people and find out exactly if we can help them and how we can help them. Are they struggling? Do they need help? If we reduce costs, the same old scenario. So probably more from a helping side and with no pressure. And it's funny that the no pressure sale became the easy sale for us. And that's kind of what we've had, where we can help, we have. I'm sure your company is no different to ours. We've got 1,000 odd customers under contract, and a large portion of them struggled at the beginning, and we were asked to obviously put their finance contracts on hold, which we did. Probably the good news from that is that there's only about 5% of those still actually on sort of hardship at the moment. Right. The rest of them are all recovered. Most of them have even paid back a large portion of what they missed in that initial 6-month period plus. So, but that's what everyone's doing. They're looking at ways to reduce costs and survive, I guess.
Yeah, right. So how do you guys go about finding net new business? Is it? Can you? I mean, in New Jersey, we can't even knock on doors. Nobody's going to let you in, or businesses are closed, or you get a frown when you try and walk in somebody's office, like, no, don't come in. I mean, yeah. Are you guys doing anything different?
Probably not so much different, just exactly similar to you. We work the pipelines, we work our CRM database and so forth. We're different in the respect that up until, we've had only a few cases in our areas where we've been unable to physically leave the offices. We've been in lockdown and all that type of stuff. So we're still able to go and visit businesses. We're able to have appointments. We're able to do that. But having said that, you nailed it straight away there. You can't cold call a business at the moment because of that exact fear. You walk through the door and they look at you and go, what the hell are you doing here? Get out. Right. We definitely see that. So, the phones become our best friend. Our guys, we're 100% pushing through the CRM database just by making phone calls predominantly. Emails, probably no different to the way you're having to do it now. It's funny, we haven't, people talk about doing demos. We don't do very many demos in the showroom anymore. Our showroom's more like a warehouse now. People haven't come in for a long time, the odd one here and there. So our sales guys sell on the road. That's what we've always done. So it's been pretty much no different now. We're selling via phone, via email. All the documents go out by email anyway. So, and then the devices are installed. So it's not been a lot of difference other than probably a lot more phone time.
Got it. I know some of the manufacturers are actually coming through with virtual, they're using some of their space for virtual demonstrations. So we're partnered with Rico and Kip. And I know if a customer actually wants to see a demonstration of machine running, we can actually set up that virtual demonstration so they can log on via Zoom or something like that. Is any of that happening in your area?
No, I haven't had the need to, because for a demonstration purposes, if they really want to, they can still visit the offices. We haven't really got any in lockdown where they can't leave or visit. So if a demonstration is required, they are coming. Video has become a large, option for us as well. So we do send a lot of YouTube type scenarios for functionality, whether it be for, integration of paper cut, say with Kyocera, and somebody wants to know how it works. It's easier to throw them a link to a YouTube video than to have that conversation and, then speak afterwards. So we're starting to use a lot more video in presentations / promotions to them. But for a general demonstration, we can still bring them into the office if we had to.
Great. How you guys
So I
doing?
haven't seen that.
How you doing with paper cut? Good?
Yeah, pretty good now. We kind of had a different focus a little while ago. Kyocera have their own product here. I don't know if it's in the States. It's called Kyocera Net Manager. It's basically MyQ written for Kyocera and embedded in the Kyocera devices. So it does exactly the same as paper cut, obviously. And at the end of the day, when we sell paper cut, we sell Kyocera with the Kyocera Net Manager, and then it sort of locks the customer to us unless they want to physically change over effectively to a whole new program like paper cut or whatever with another manufacturer. So we'd had plenty of people come to us and say, oh, we're looking at changing our device, we're getting other quotes, and we're like, well, you do realize you'll have to change Kyocera Net Manager because it only works with Kyocera. So there's an extra cost that other suppliers would have to sort of bear versus what we have Kyocera Net Manager standard, new Kyocera walks in and away it goes. So we ran that for a few years and it's been really successful, but paper cut's just become the one everybody wants now. So in the last 12, 18 months, it's been 95% paper cut.
Okay. Now you guys doing anything with document management?
Yeah, we're a DocuWare ADP. So we're one of, I think, 4 in Australia, and apart from Ricoh now, because obviously Ricoh purchasing DocuWare, Ricoh's decided to give every Ricoh dealer a DocuWare dealership. But up until then, it was pretty tough to get one. Now, so we do run DocuWare. I've got a single guy who specializes in doc management only. And yeah, so it hasn't been easy by far. It's been a long journey to get there for, the copier guys, they can get in and get out and put a box in the door inside a day or a week if they want. You move to document management, slows the process, sometime months. And then at the end of it all, it, scares them away from your copier sale as well. So the copier guys are a little bit, scared to introduce that into their plan for fear of losing the copier sale.
Well, it is the way everything's going to go. So as machines slow down, which eventually they will, clients are going to look for other things to make them more productive. And interesting that you brought up document. I brought up document management, but you said DocuWare. I had a client emailing back and forth, an existing client, and trying to get their wide format business. They're all basically working remote, and finally, I've got their copier business, but finally, after 3 years, the CFO finally directed a clerk to send me all of their invoices for their wide format, of course, which another dealer has, and said I'd get it in a couple of days. I followed up, and I followed up with the gal, and then she sent me an email back. She said, I'm working remote. I haven't been able to get you the documents. I'm gonna, you're gonna have to wait till I get back in the office, which she goes to the office once a week. But that pretty much told me right away that this company has no way of gathering their documents from a remote, from a remote location, which I thought there's basically, that's a content management lead, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So interesting.
So are you finding the wide format is still strong?
Wide format is still strong. Yeah. Wide format did a lot. It carried us carried a few of us who specialize in it for quite a while. It's a higher revenue sale. It is along with a higher revenue sale, there's not as many competitors in the marketplace. For toner-based machines, basically you've got Ricoh, which I don't know how much longer they're going to stay in the market. You've got Canon with their OSE devices, and you've got KIP. So you've got only three. And if you go into an MFP sale, you can have as many as 10 competitors. So,
Yep.
so the transaction is quick, just like MFPs. The revenue is higher, which of course makes the profit to the dealer, and commissions higher for the sales reps. Two, the AEC industry, which is architects, engineers, and construction, they still value technology. They value IT. They still understand that saving time is saving money. So they're more apt to spend additional dollars or get the higher revenue because this new machine or this new solution is going to save them X amount of time. And a lot of times when you get involved with some of these smaller companies who only want one machine, they're trying to nickel and dime every single vendor to death because they don't value the machine, they don't value IT services, they create everything as an expense. But I don't find that is not the case in the AEC market. So we've done very well with wide format. Matter of fact, we just picked up the KIP line because again, we're not sure where Ricoh is going with wide format. We're sitting on 2 machines now that are 5 years old. They haven't been updated or refreshed. So kind of hard to go out and try and upgrade somebody to the same machine that you sold them 5 years ago, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But the KIP machine and wide format, KIP machine is a decent machine. It's got an MSRP of 25 to 30 grand. And it's the only wide format on the market in color that uses dry toner. So where the Aec uses the, you know, if you heard about the pearls, yeah.
We're an Aec dealer.
Okay, the toner pearls.
Yeah.
So I guess our talk track is, you know, if we can convince them that dry toner is that best technology for them, then basically we're the only player.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, we've seen a dramatic decline, I guess, in wide format for us. So we again, I forgot about it, but when we started 20 odd years ago, we've been Aec from the beginning as well. We had amazing runs with wide format, and you're 100% right with the profitability on the wide format, especially the laser-based mono devices, has been great both through sales revenue, profit, and also service revenue. But you know, with the pushing of the smaller inkjet wide formats, particularly Canon and HP, a lot of the businesses, you know, when it came to renew, they jump on the net and they think that the $5,000 job's as good as their $20,000 job, and they all go and buy that, but they're locked to it, and they, you know, there's nothing they can do after that. So you're stuck for another 3 to 5 years without helping them. So our toner-based sales have probably, for us, dropped to 1 a year now for the last couple of years. It's been terrible.
right.
So, and we obviously, with Canon taking over Aec, they did the same sort of thing. You know, we're specialized Aec dealer. They started handing it off to the Canon dealers. So then you have competitors potentially in your own area, which you don't want to do. And then obviously the small format is such a the small inkjet based devices are, you're back to your anybody can get them and 10 people in on a sale.
Yeah.
So for us, wide format, we've almost written off.
Okay, so yeah, there's a lot of movement on that low end. Epson's entered that low end. Canon's been in that low end. But you know, hey, probably 70% of probably those people looking at those machines are price buyers. And I don't care what you throw at them, you're not, if they're a price buyer, you're not going to convince them they're going to pay too much for ink and paper. We know they will, but they say, "Yeah, I want to spend $5,000. I don't want to spend $14,000." But in the long run, we know they're going to spend they're going to spend more. And sometimes it takes them to get burned once or twice to realize, maybe I should have got the bigger machine.
That's right. Exactly.
But we do sell on the low end. We sell the Epson machines. So we've got a few placements out there just to try and meet the needs of those people in that lower end of the marketplace. So we're into this almost a half hour now, and you're on what, Thursday morning?
Thursday morning, 7:30.
All right, so I'm sure you need to get to work. Do you have any additional questions for me, or?
No, honestly, no. I'm just, firstly, I don't know if anyone's done it. I'm sure they have, but thank you for writing that blog. We still read it today, even though it's a little bit less arriving. But it's really good to know that one, you can still do it from home, and two, that you can things still work.
And three, we don't give up, right?
That's it.
Love it. All right, Andrew, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Very nice meeting you through the Zoom call, and hopefully we can do it again soon.
Sounds good. Thanks. Have a good day.
Take care. Thank you.
Bye.